looks like Noda is going to be your winner of this Portuguese Grand Prix. Is your champion. JJ splits the middle, gets past both drivers. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've stuck with us this long, I want to take some time and welcome you back to Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya here in Fox's Racing League, FRL as we affectionately know it here, getting ready for some Split 1 action on track now. Of course, again, we're back 16 turns, 2.9 miles, 2 DRS zones. It's Split 1. It's going to be fun. We already know Split 1 is fun. Currently, we're sitting Tazo leading our Split 1 grid in the Drivers' Championship. Noda, Kashti, Maddie, Wasserschwein, our top 5. Of course, looking at last week when we were at Portugal, Tazo winning the race. Kashti was in pole position. Fastest lap was Tazo. Wasserschwein going up 13 positions. Driver of the day last week. Very, very exciting race last week. Of course, we have a lot to look forward to here in the race. So let's go ahead and get right to the on-track action here. Waste no time getting things underway. Waiting on any driver to pull the trigger here and go out on track. Who is that? I believe that is going to be a Ferrari of Graxent being the first driver on track. You can see it looks like some drivers looking at setup options, looking at some different things. Let's talk about Graxent for a second here, because I think Graxent is an interesting driver to look at and see where they are. Graxent is currently sitting P11 in the driver standings, DNFing last weekend in Portugal, but has a P5 and a P9 to Graxent's name here in FRL. Of course, Graxent has ran averages P10. Average quality is P3, so a driver with a lot of pace here. And it really is going to be just a matter of, is Graxent going to be able to capitalize on that pace and find himself at the front of the grid? Second most races participated in FRL for Graxent. So a driver that knows a thing or two because he's seen a thing or two. We are FRL. Bum, 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 bum. Farmers Insurance, please don't copyright strike me for that. I had to throw that in there. Anyways, let's get back to the on-track action here. You can see every driver of our 19-driver grid here in Split 1 is already on an outlap. What does that mean? Well, it's twofold. One, it means there's a good chance that we're going to see a lot of yellow flags and potentially see some drivers spin. Number two, it means that we're about to be busy for the next 3 minutes or so. So bear with me here as we watch Graxent come through the first sector. We've got more drivers coming through Sector 1 here as we watch and keep our eyes through. Buchik and the Haas, of course, the sister Haases in Split 2, dominating with an over 30-second victory in Split 2 of Maku and Kier coming through. So we'll see if they're able to capitalize on that. Buchik not able to capitalize so far. We're going to jump back up here. We've got JJ who is coming through Sector 1, and we'll keep an eye on JJ as he goes through. Kashti is coming around here. Graxon's coming down. Of course, Kashti knows this track very well. Last time we were here in Split 2, Kashti was the winner, and Kashti now in Split 1. Can Kashti do a back-to-back win here? And it is very much possible. Kashti, of course, winning Split 2 and Split 1 last time we were here in Season 6. So it's very, very possible. Graxon's going to be coming around final sector now. What time is Graxon going to put in as Graxon comes around the 16th turn? DRS open, a 117.4 setting off the weekend strong. JJ track limits invalidating his lap. And now we're going to jump back here with Buchik. Buchik is going to be coming down the final sector as well. Those yellow sausage curbs looming for the drivers there. You can see just how close they go through. We saw a spin from the McLarens in the final lap there in Split 2 off of the final sausage curb that cost big time. Now we're starting to see more drivers come through. Maverick, Bimolino, Gaucho, Tazo is coming through. So it's Graxon. Syntax P2 with a 117.7. Debe 117.9. P3. Barthez 118. Wasserschwein 118. Bimolino. Now we've got Kashti, a 117.1 fastest lap by a significant margin there. As we watch Tazo come around the final sector, teammate in front there, Maddie and Tazo, P6 and P3 respectively. So very good time through there. Now we see the other Haas coming through of Matouche putting in a time. Ignis is coming around the final corner with teammate John Meister in tow. Ignis is going to come across and put in a 117.0. Ignis finding significant time as his teammate John Meister into the pits. So now we've got 3 drivers that have yet to put in a time here. JJ coming around. I think JJ is going for a second push lap, but a 117.0. Showing strong time. JJ into the pits now. What a time coming out of the Alfa Romeo to kick off our Split 1 qualifying here. Of course, if you're new to FRL, I want to welcome you and say check out the Discord. Definitely join us. Kashti retiring out of the session. DNFing there in the middle sector. You can see Syntax coming through there. You can see him off of the right-hand side of the track into the wall. Very unfortunate that the turn has caught him out. That is going to be the infamous turn 7. There's a dip on the inside, and if you're not careful, that will shoot you into the wall. I've been there, I've done that. I'm training for the endurance race that we're going to be running next month here in Barcelona. 8 hours with our 3 ACC teams going through and training for this track. This track is very familiar. Very, very familiar. Of course, GT's running the old layout, but we won't get into that. We're watching F1 cars. It's great. Ignis 117.0. Beautiful, beautiful time coming from the Alfa Romeo. Izzy dives into the pits there. Every driver into the pits now except for, it looks like, Matouche and Bernard now going into the pits. Matouche through. Buchik is on an outlap. So Buchik is going to be the lone driver with John Meister. Of course, those two now off of the run times and run strategies. They're running separate here to what we were seeing before. Buchik is going to be off a different run plan, which could prove problematic for the Haas driver. We saw Ignis have that issue last run, not able to put it in a time. JJ track limits invalidating his time. Pujols, John Meister, and Buchik, I believe, just spinning and invalidating their laps. Buchik is now starting a flying lap. You can see some traffic coming out of the pits. We're going to see if they stay out of the way. We're going to ride on board here with Buchik and let Buchik take us on a flying lap here. Turn 1, turn 2, come at you very quick, right left-hander. And now it's turn 3, 6th gear, 225 kilometers, 180 miles an hour out. You're going to brake at the 50-meter mark in, sling it right for turn 4, all the way down the gears. Come right back up and go a little bit wide there, but still able to keep it on track there for Buchik. Downhill trail braking here, coming around left-hander. Now it's flat through turn 6, going towards turn 7 and 8. Turn 7, we're going to see a few drivers spin. There's those tiny little sausage curves on the inside and the big rail of them on the outside. Now you're going to sweep it turn 9. Some drivers are going to lift, some are going to downshift. Some might do that flat out, depending on what your downforce setup is. And now turn 10 hits you real quick Left-hander here sweeps around to turn 11 now. Turn 12, which is a double apex turn. You see the two sausage curbs on the right-hand side. You got to watch for. You can see that is the McLaren just stopped in the track, staying out of Buchik's way. We're through turns 14, 15, second gear chicane. The bus stops. Turn 16, flat to the floor there. And now you're going to run it all the way down. DRS open all the way down the main straight. And Buchik should come across with what time? A 1:18.006. So 5 milliseconds off of P7, but a great time nonetheless. And now we watch as more drivers continue to come across and put in times. John Meister starting a flying lap, and you can see traffic in front of him there in the Red Bull. JJ, 5-second penalty for a collision with Noda. What happened there? I missed that one. That is very, very unfortunate for the driver there. JJ is going to be very, very upset. I can hear the frustrations from here. So as we're going through here, you can see just how quick a lap goes here of Barcelona. The drivers, I mean, it's a minute 20, minute 17 lap, minute 20 in race conditions. So laps are moving around here, and it's going to be 33 laps of action when we get through. And Buchik, oh, that was very unfortunate to see there. Oh, Buchik, fatal error into the pit entry. It's a narrow pit entry here. And ultimately, that is going to cost Buchik. 15th is the best we're going to see from Buchik, as every driver is now into the 117. Apart from 3. Well, 4. But one of them is DNF. So you can see a very, very close field here in Split 1. Everybody very, very close. The top 15 drivers separated by under a second. This is insane. Seven minutes left to go in qualifying, and I'm trying to keep up with who is on what laps here. It looks like Debe is on an out lap here. So lots of things happening. 7.5 minutes left to go. We're halfway through qualifying, over halfway through qualifying. I mean, plenty of time left here for drivers to get in some very competitive laps. See Debe trying to put heat in the tires. I believe Debe is on an alternate run strategy to the rest of the field here that I can tell. Ignis, a 1:17.0. Putting him fastest lap with 7 minutes left to go. Is anyone... Oh my gosh, Matouche with a 1:17.01. 3/100ths of a second up. Is any driver going to be able to break into the 116s here? There's no way, right? It's there. It's easy. It's for the taking. Someone is going to break into the 116s. It's just a matter of who. What a lap from Matouche. We watch Bernard here. Bernard in the third sector coming around. And Debe's in the first sector. Bernard going into the pits now. Debe's in the middle sector here. Debe is 3 milliseconds up. 3 milliseconds slow through the first sector, so Debe might have a bit of time to find here. And we'll see how this middle sector comes together for Debe as he comes around and sweeps through turn 9. Purple middle sector for Debe. So Debe's got a lot of pace here that he's showing. We'll see where Debe can put himself. It looks like potentially going for a straight line setup. We'll see if that compromises Debe through the third sector coming around here. Right, bus stop chicane. Left to go, and then just flat to the floor. Don't let the sausage curb eat the car up. And where is Debe going to find himself as he comes across the line? Debe with a 1:17.888. So does improve good enough for P13. Syntex, a 22 flat in the first sector. So Syntex is improving a little bit here on a flying lap. So as Syntex comes down into the sector, things are very, very competitive here in Split 1. This is impressive to watch. I'm trying to check in with other drivers here and see where everyone else finds themselves. Currently, it's Matouche with a 117.010, 100th of a second off of breaking into the 116s. Amazing time. Syntex is going to come across the line here. What time is Syntex at? A 117.301. So Syntex, good enough for P5 there. Very, very impressive time coming from the AlphaTauri driver. Tazo coming down the final sector here through the bus stop chicane. And Tazo on a very... I don't think Tazo's on a slow lap. Tazo has to be on a push lap. Tazo comes across a 117.3, stays in P7 there. Now we've got Wasserschwein. Wasserschwein is through the first sector. We've got a McLaren coming through in the third sector there. Barthez up into P8 now, and Noda, his teammate, just a few corners behind. Where is Noda going to find himself as the Red Bulls are also running through finishing laps? And it doesn't look like either of the Red Bulls have improved yet. Noda's going to come across final corner. 117.073. Noda good enough for P3 now. As we see the McLaren driver pushing very hard. Mercedes coming out of the pits. 3.5 minutes left to go. We've got an Alfa Romeo who is coming around to start a lap there. Into the pits there goes the Alfa Romeo. Now Maverick. First sector there. Who is that in the final sector? I believe that is Syntex going into the pits. Now, who is where doing what? Let's catch up with some of these drivers here. Tazo is purple middle sector. Tazo, we know, has very, very good pace. So is Tazo going to be able to pick up and put down a very competitive time here? Tazo currently our driver's champion, our leader of the driver's championship, up by 2 points on Noda. So this is going to be very important. Tazo, purple middle sector, but into the pits. Very interesting decision there. 2 minutes, 45 seconds left to go in qualifying. Graxit's on an out lap here. Barthez, I don't know if Barthez is on an out. Barthez is on an in lap. Never mind. And we tune in with Maddie just in time to see Maddie hit a sausage curb and spin. Whew, Maddie. Lesson on why we avoid the sausage curves. Avoid the sausage curves and keep the grip on pit entry. Those are the two big keys to surviving this track. Maverick into the pits as well. So everybody, I believe, is into the pits here, going for a fresh set of tires. Bernard coming around the start-finish straight here. A 118.302. I believe this is going to be Bernard starting a flying lap with 2 minutes left to go here in qualifying. And now we can see lots of drivers on outlaps. Matouche on a lap here. Ignis on a lap. So 1:30 left to go, and this is going to be where things start to get very, very interesting, because this is where we throw it on the track or we throw it in the garage. You either put the best lap down or you take it back to the back. So these drivers are going to be pushing really hard. We've got a yellow flag, Sector 3. I believe that is going to be for one of the Mercedes drivers going through and letting cars by, trying to find a gap for some clean air. As we watch here, Graxit's coming around. And I don't know who's going to be able to improve on that 117.0. As we watch here, Graxit's pushing very hard. A 22.1 in the first sector. Purple middle sector for Graxit. So Graxit showing some good pace. Is Graxit going to be able to improve? 45 seconds on the clock left. So once the clock strikes, it's whatever lap you're on is all you've got. 30 seconds left to go now. Graxton coming through Sector 3, through the bus stops. You can see just barely avoiding the sausage curbs there. Comes through flat to the line. Where's Graxton going to find himself? A 116.9. 116 for Graxton. And now Matoush is going to have to push very hard to try to find time to compete with that. Ignis locked into P3, a 10th down. Is Matoush going to be able to bring anything to the table? 5 seconds left on the clock here in qualifying. So we'll see. Does Matoush have what it takes to compete? He's got traffic there of the McLaren in front of him. McLaren dives into the pits. And Matoush, is he going to cross the line? And he is not. Matoush comes across on a 1:19.8. So that is all Matoush had in the tank. Ignis is down. Graxton qualifying P1. Still a couple drivers on the track that can stop him, though. Syntax going very slow on this final lap, so Syntax coasting in. That is going to be all Syntax has. Tazo going through first sector, up a 10th. Does Tazo have time to bring to the table? As we watch, Tazo is now going through the middle sector, coming around what is turn number 9 into turn 10 here. You can see that is an Alfa Romeo that is sitting sideways there. Tazo's purple middle sector. Now, does Tazo have what it takes to crack a 1:16.945? Tazo's coming around there into turn 13. We're now going into the great bus stop chicane. This can be make or break for the driver. How brave is he willing to be? Very brave by the looks of it. Look how close to the sausage curbs. Using the sausage curbs is a little bit of a push there. And is Tazo going to break that 1:16.9? He does not. Only good enough for a 1:17.2. Comes across in P6. And that, ladies and gentlemen, I believe is going to be our qualifying over. Graxton, the only driver of the weekend to break into the 1:16s. What a time. But look how competitive this grid is. Other than Graxton, everyone from P2 to P15. P16 is separated by less than a second. I mean, what? So really, this is anyone's guess, like, who is gonna... Where is this coming from? Oh, split one, you never fail to amaze me. What a time. So we're coming through 1:16.945. Wow. Matoush will be sitting second row, or second place of the front row. Ignis and Noda will make up our second row. Kashi Tazo, third row. Syntax in P7. Bimolino, P8. John Meister, Debe, Matty Barthez, Wasserschwein, Puhash, Maverick, Buchik, Bernard, Extraek. So a little bit of drama unfolding for us here in split one as Graxton qualified on pole. Only driver in the 1:16s, but has a 3-place grid penalty that I forgot about, and gets to start P4 on the grid this time by. So Barcelona, Catalunya, 16 turns, clockwise circuit. A lot of fun to watch. Apologies if there's a little bit of lag really quick as everything gets going. And now we set up the 30 seconds before the race. What is going to happen here? Well, we need the drivers to survive turn 1. Let's start with that. Do we get a turn 1 crash? We saw no safety cars in split 2. No safety cars in split 2. I can tell you right now that is not how this is about to go down. 30 seconds to green. Of course, no formation lap here as we used to do, as I will always remind you of, because I miss the formation laps. I truly do. But formation laps can cause bugs in the game. We don't like bugs. We like clean racing. We don't like lobby restarts as we've had to do in the past. 10 seconds to race start. And it'll be 5 red lights and we'll be underway. If you have a prediction for the race, put it in the chat, because I don't have a prediction for the race, to be honest with you. I don't know where this is about to go. All I know is I hope you're ready for 33 laps of great action. It is going to be 5 red lights. And we are underway here for split 1 of FRL round 4. You can see in the back, that is an Aston Martin jockeying for position. We're 3 wide here. Matoush is dropping back against Ignis. Ignis up into the lead there. Graxon's already down into P7. We're 3 wide. Look at the Haas on the outside there in turn 1. Matoush, Ignis side by side trying to hold on to it. Everybody's cleanly through the first couple of corners. Now we've got the wide run of turn 3. Matoush on the outside, Ignis on the inside. Who is going to come away with that? And it's going to be Ignis on the in. No, Matoush on the outside, still side by side, tire by tire. As they come around the corners here, who is going to come out on top? It's very hard to tell. They're still side by side racing. Look at the midfield trying to go 3 wide through, coming around the corner into turn number 7 and 8. As we watch yellow flag out, that is Wasserschwein who has spun back. The first casualty, they settle in the front, and who comes ahead? Matoush is ahead of Ignis. We'll talk about pit strategy and everything in just a minute once we get through the first lap of action here. But as we can see, Ignis settling down. We've got Maverick and Debe battling for P14. Look at that. That is going to be swerving around behind Bernard on Debe. Bernard's going to be on the outside here, not the preferred line, but it does get you the inside for the next corner if he's close enough to take advantage. They're side by side now as they switch through. I believe Debe's going to have to back out of this, and he's not backing out of it. They're still side by side, and this is the battle for P14 as they come through inside here. Debe is going to keep the position there for P15. Now I've got Extract into the pits here, and now one lap is underway. What is the pit strategy? Well, what did we see everyone doing in split 1? We saw 1 stop. Or in split 2, we saw 1 stops. We saw hards to mediums and medium to hards. Let's do the grand reveal. Drum roll. What is everyone running here? It's a mixed grid between the mediums and the hards. Soft tires are not preferred here for the race tire. Now we've got yellow flag sector 1. That is a Mercedes that's ran off there of Bernard. It looks like he is okay though, and things are back underway. We know all the grid is very, very close on pace, so we're going to continue to watch and see how things match up. If there is a tire delta that's going to have to be dealt with as the drivers go through. Kachti up in P3 currently, 3/10 of a second back off of Ignis, trying to hold on to the rear bumper there of that Alfa Romeo. DRS should be enabled at the end of this lap, which should create a little bit of action and kind of encourage some passing opportunities, unless we see a big DRS train form, which I really don't have issues with here. Predictive pit stop strategy powered by AWS, mediums to hard or soft mediums. Nobody started on the mediums, so we'll see a bit of hard to mediums. We might see hards run long into soft if anyone's feeling brave. I'm going to say if you're a driver, you're going to have to mix up the strategy just a little bit. You're going to have to do something a little bit different. Now we can see from race control, DRS is enabled here. What driver is going to be able to take advantage of that DRS here? And I think Kashti might be our first driver. Everyone keeping their pace, keeping very close, separated by just 3 or 4 tenths through. We're going to jump on board here with Syntax, and Syntax spinning out of turn 3. Losing the rear end there. Turn 3, a long right-hander. You stay on power through a majority of it. 225 kilometer an hour, 6th gear corner. Commentator's curse. Coming through again. I talked about it in split 2 as we watched Ignis struggle in qualifying with that corner. Spinning 3 times in that one corner that you just have to watch your power on through there. And unfortunately for Syntax, that is going to be a major fallback for him. He's going to drop back pretty considerably. His teammate Kashti, though, doing very, very well and holding on very far up. Kashti currently P3 in the Drivers' Championship with Noda P2, Tazo P1. They're currently inverse. Kashti P3, Noda P4, Tazo P5. So these drivers are going to be chasing each other down very hard as they understand 12-race season. It's all to play for here, even though we're only on the 4th of 12 races. As the fuel continues to burn down, Ignis is continuing to cut down his lap time, a 1:24 that lap by. So continuing to cut down just a bit on what lap times he's putting in there. But Matoush, 0.3 of a second ahead still, so something somewhere is allowing Matoush to hold on to the lead. I'm kind of jumping back and forth. I'm watching the onboard here of Graxon, and Graxon trying to chase down Tazo. Graxon has not too bad of a gap. Graxon's also got pretty good tires from what I can tell on him. Graxon going to be trying to chase down Tazo here, 0.8 of a second. Tazo's now dropped 2.8 back on Kashti. So the top 3 are starting to separate out from the rest of the grid. We've got a slow Mercedes coming up here on the grid, which is going to be, I would imagine that has to be Bernard that they're catching on now. So they should be lapping Bernard here soon. Right there, Bernard off to the side of the track. Hopefully that's not going to cause a safety car or anything for being stopped there where Bernard is. And as we come across here on the line, driver's still very close. Lap 5, Ignis is having a dive on Matoush. Look at him up the inside here for turn 1. Not close enough to make it stick, but he's on the inside, turns to the outside here, trying to switch back. Snap of oversteer there, holding on to it. You can see Matoush slowing down pretty considerably there. And actually slowing down because we are under VSC conditions. I believe this is a VSC. Yep, VSC, you can see it on the board. Not a full safety car, and that is Bernard out of the session. We've got Barthez taking advantage, going to the pit for a fresh set of mediums. So 5 laps in, first VSC through, and I thought Ignis was going to have that pass done. Whew, that was close. But for some drivers, this is a big break. Syntax, who's down in P14 after that spin in turn 3 just a couple laps ago, Syntax is going to be able to take advantage here and catch back up, try to close the gap a little bit. Of course, you can't pass under VSC, but it'll let him get a little bit closer and try to hold on just a little bit and maybe try to get a good run to go for a pass here. I'm going to say Ignis is going to be under a lot of pressure. As soon as we get that green flag racing, Ignis is going to be under some very, very serious pressure along with Matoush. And there is the flag back underway right as the leader comes around out of the final corner. So a good run there. You can see Kashti got caught a little bit off guard there. So Kashti, even though he has DRS, is almost a second back, not able to catch up here. Ignis is going side by side with Matoush, forces Matoush to the inside. It'll turn to the outside for turn 2. You can see Racing Room being given. Maybe Racing Room wasn't given. There's a bump there. Matoush spinning out back in the back, dropping down now, dropping P5. There's P6. Can he hold on? And it is going to be John Meister around the inside. Now he's going to have to battle to try to hold on to P7. Teammate's going to come into play here. Is he going to be able to hold on? You can see side-by-side racing here, Matoush and John Meister as they go through. And John Meister on the inside is going to have the advantage and going to be able to go past here. And never mind, they're going to stay side-by-side around here through the turn. Who is going to come out on top? It looks like Matoush does come out on top. And now he's going to lose time to Buchik. So Ignis and Matoush, a little bit of contact there, and for Ignis that spells P1, but it's not going to be an uncontested P1. As you can see, a little snap of the rear end there, and now Kashti 0.2 of a second back. Kashti smells blood in the water and is going to be going for the run here. Now Kashti's down, comes around the outside. Is Kashti going to have this pass done? Kashti looking outside here, side by side now with Ignis. We saw what Ignis did last time with Matoush there with the side-by-side contact. Then Kashti backs out of it there on the outside, is going to try to switch it back through, maybe follow around and look for another opportunity to dive in on the brakes. As you can see here, Ignis a little bit braver on the brakes there through turn 4. And then we got to keep our eyes there on Buchik, John Meister, Puhash, Maddie. Is that the gaps through there is just a couple tenths of a second for them. So we'll see who's able to make a pass back in that midfield battle as well. Tazdo now 3 seconds back on Kashti. So they are continuing to drop back through. We'll jump on board here or jump back and check out this midfield pack as they run through turn 9. And that is John Meister, Puhash, Maddie, and Maverick. You can see John Meister getting a little bit brave there, going through. Buchik just outbraking himself? What? Was I reading that wrong? Or did Buchik just drop back a bunch of positions randomly? Anyways, here we go. John Meister, Puhash 0.4 of a second back here. Maddie 0.5 second back. Now as we go through, we'll jump here. Kashti trying to have a pass here. Oh, we're losing everything here. Oh my gosh, who is going to come through? Kashti, Ignis side by side again. Kashti's on the inside here. It's a tight battle here between the Alfa Romeo and the Alpha Tauri. And as they go through side by side again, down into turn 5, downhill braking hard. Left-hander, you can see a snap oversteer there from Kashti. Ignis is going to move a little bit wide there. Side by side racing, still side by side racing. And who comes out on top? Ignis back in P1 again. Kashti backing out of it. You can see they're just not giving up, though. Still very, very close. Both of these drivers not giving the other one a second to breathe. And we're only on lap 8. There's plenty of racing left. You would think this is the final lap of the season, but no, this is just lap 8 of round 4. We can see here Kashti is going to try to have a run on Ignis again. He's going to try to stick it here through sector 3. You can see the field still extremely bunched up as Mateusz is having a look around the outside of Bimolino there. That turns into the inside as they go back through, and now Mateusz, a little bit of sausage curve there. He's got the pass done, though. Kashti losing big pace there out of the final corner. Gap 4/10, gap 3/10, gap 1/10. And there he is around the inside. He breaks super late there, and trying to hold on, no wheel contact. And maybe a little bit of wheel contact there as they go side by side. Kashti and Ignis. Ignis around the outside trying to power his way back around. Kashti finally getting the pass done after multiple laps of back and forth there. And Ignis is going to slot back in, but I don't think Ignis is going to let this go yet, as we've got plenty of time left to go here in this race. We're only lap 9 of 33, 24 laps to go here in FRL. Let's jump back to P12 here, because this is a battle that's starting to develop as well. Noda trying to chase down Maverick here. P12 and P11. You see Noda DRS there. It'll peek around the outside. They're side by side coming around turn 10 into turn 11. Maverick pushes Noda almost off the track, I believe. And then Noda's going to slot right back in there and try to hang on for a run down the main straight. Speaking of run down the main straight, we're going to have Ignis having a run here on Kashti down the main straight. You can see, though, harvesting that ERS, and I don't think Ignis is going to try to go for a dive here. Ignis is not. Ignis holding on there to P2. We've got yellow flag, sector 2, sector 3. I believe that is going to be JJ, who has spun there in sector 3 around turn 12, but is back underway from what I can tell. Noda and Maverick, that battle we're going to check out as Noda has finally made his way past Maverick there. Ignis, 0.3 of a second trying to hold on here, half a second back, trying to hold on here to Kashti and trying to keep a move on. 10 laps, 23 to go. No safety cars, 1 VSC. Bernard, the only driver we've lost so far this race out of our 19 driver grid. 18 still competing here in FRL. So as we watch here, there's a driver off in turn 3, and that is JJ. JJ back underway now. It looks like no extreme issues there. We're yellow flags in 2 sectors now, as we've had Bimolino Gaucho spin as well in sector 3. I believe both drivers are back underway. It's not slowing down any of the action here as we watch Ignis trying to have a run here on Kashti. Ignis settling in, it looks like, and just hanging out. He knows that pit stops are coming soon, and I don't think they're going to take any unnecessary risk. Maddie getting past Mateusz there, slotting in for P7. Mateusz now has his teammate Buchik behind him, and I'm sure the Haas drivers are going to work together and have a bit of a strategy to move forward. What a race we've gotten. We're a third of the way through. I know Maddie just got past Matoush, but I have a feeling that Matoush is going to be pushing again to get past Maddie and go back to the front here on those 10-lap old medium tires as we watch DRS open here. You can see his teammate Buchik behind him there. Is Matoush going to have the run? Yellow flag sector 3. That is for JJ, I believe. You can see Matoush trying to have a run here outside of Maddie, side by side. Is there going to be any contact? Who has the better grip? Matoush on those medium compound tires, slightly better grip through on Maddie, and is able to get the pass done there. Up into P7 again, but now he's got DRS he's going to have to worry about because Maddie is going to have DRS. And Maddie, though, already dropping 0.7 of a second back, so a weak third sector from Maddie here as we watch Buchik with DRS open. Yellow flag sector 3, that is going to be for, I believe, Wasserschwein spinning there in the final corner. Back underway, though, and now Bimolino, Gaucho, and Maverick battling it out here, and Bimolino up the inside there on Maverick for P11. Bimolino 2 seconds back there on Noda. Noda in the last of the points-paying places at the moment, but this is a battle for P11, and you would think it's a battle for the lead watching it if we continue to watch it go through and see how these drivers get on as they are continuing to just cycle lap after lap. Very consistent, but pit stops are coming. We saw pit stops start. Try saying that 5 times fast. We saw pit stop start around lap 13, lap 14. Pujols, first driver to pick up a penalty there. 3-second penalty for corner cutting. Very unusual to see here. Drivers pick up corner cutting penalties. Continue to watch here. Buchik and Noda. Noda going very wide again. Noda's been very brave there in that section of the track through turn 10 and 11. And it hasn't paid off yet that I can think of. I said green flag pit stops were coming, and there they are. Tazo and the Red Bull going to be the first driver to dive into the pits here, and we'll see where Tazo decides to go. Ignis down to 0.2 of a second there, but not close enough. Tazo going onto a fresh set of hards, and now you've got Syntex into the pits as well in the sister AlphaTauri. So Tazo going out on a fresh set of hards, and Tazo is going to come out there around where did Tazo come out? P13. We're going to see Syntex drop back around, I believe, P15 at least, if not P16. So Tazo, first driver to opt in for the green flag stops, not gambling on a safety car. And I think that is going to trigger the field to go ahead and everyone start pitting. Checking in here with Graxent and Ignis. Graxent 4.7 seconds back on Ignis here. Ignis 0.3 of a second back on Kashki. Still trying to push to catch up here on the driver and doing very, very well with it. Honestly, very, very smooth racing coming from all of these drivers. Yellow flag sector 3, as I said something about it, as we see drivers dropping back here. Kashki's into the pits now. Noda under pressure just a little bit there from Buchik. Kashki going onto a fresh set of hard tires. Where is Kashki going to come out? Kashki's going to drop back pretty far. We have another driver into the pits of Bimolino Gaucho. Bimolino Gaucho opting into the pits. You can see Buchik trying to look for a little bit of a run there. Pujols in front in the Mercedes there in P5 trying to chase down Matoush, Buchik's teammate. And 0.5 of a second the gap there. So lots of very, very close racing happening here in FRL. Of course, if you're interested in joining the racing on track and you don't just want to listen to me talk about racing for 3 hours on a Sunday and you want to be a part of the action, check out our Discord, join the Discord, jump in, pick a number, and then sign up to be a reserve driver. That's how everyone gets their start here in FRL. Jump in, sign up, we'll put you in a race and see how you do. There's always opportunities coming up in the league, and we'd love to have you a part of it. Check out all of our other socials as well, Twitter, Facebook. Our Twitch is here. We have a YouTube where we upload all of our races after the stream. So if you're missing a stream or you want to go watch and see a previous driver's amazing win, you can go out and check out the YouTube as well and subscribe to that. Give us a follow here on Twitch if you're new. All of those fun things that everyone always shouts out as we go through. We're, of course, on round 4 of this 12-round season, and we're going to see some amazing tracks here as Ignis goes into the pit. Ignis, amazing track for him here as Ignis in the Alfa Romeo goes onto a fresh set of hards. We'll see where Ignis is able to come out if he comes out into traffic. Buchik into the pits as well. I believe Matoush is going to wait another lap, it looks like. So Ignis is going to come out into a little bit of traffic here. Is Ignis going to be able to stay ahead of Debe there? Is Debe, he's going to shut the door on Debe. So Debe not able to get past there. Ignis coming out in P8. We have a yellow flag, Sector 1. That is a McLaren of Noda that is spun. So Noda dropping back a little bit now. Unfortunate, those medium tires trying to give up on the drivers. And there's a Williams that, who was that? And what just happened to them? That was that Maddie? No, that wasn't Maddie. Was that Debe that just kind of appeared there? That was weird. Anyway, checking out our top three here. Graxton's in P1, Jawmeister's in P2, 5.1 seconds off the lead. Matouche is in P3, 1.3 seconds. This is a lot closer of a battle than what we saw in Split 2. Now, I was talking about other races coming up this season. Of course, after this week here in Barcelona, we've got Imola, then we've got Yas Marina, Miami, Jeddah, Austin, Singapore, Spielberg, Austria, and then Interlagos is how we round out our season, ending F1 season in Brazil as it should always be ended. Yellow flag Sector 2, I believe that is going to be, I don't know who that is that's dropped back really hardcore there. I believe that is actually JJ dropping way back there in Sector 2 all the way to the back of the field. And now as these pit stops are cycling here, Cashty and Ignis, this battle is reignited. Half a second between Cashty and Ignis now. And we can watch this battle right here shape up because this is effectively your battle for the lead. And now you've got Debe half a second back on that, but Debe's on 15 lap hard. So he's battling for position, but it really doesn't matter because really this battle doesn't exist. Maverick retiring out of the session, wrecking there. It looks like at turn 3, and that is going to be a full course yellow, and that is a safety car deployed, mixing everything up for these green flag pit stops. So drivers that were trying to go in and out of the pits now and cycle through green flag stops, this is going to change everything because now you've got drivers like Graxton, Jawmeister, Pujols that are up in the front of the grid that are going to get effectively a cheap pit stop, and they're not going to find themselves as far out of touch as they were. And if you're a driver who pit under green flag and gave up a lot of track position, you might be kicking yourself. You can see Graxton quick to pull the trigger, Jawmeister quick to pull the trigger, Pujols very quick into the pits. Now, Maddie's going to come around. Where are we going to see these pit stops start cycling? JJ, 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Graxton in and out. Very clean stop from the boys there at Ferrari into a medium. Strategy isn't their strong suit, but I think Graxton got it together there. Medium tires on there. Ignis is going to be the first driver to stay out on the hard compound tires, and those hards are going to lose a lot of heat as we go through these laps. Debe into the pits on the hard tires as well. What tires do the boys at Williams have ready? Williams double stacking, so losing a little bit of time there. Debe does able to get it together, though losing out a pretty long pit stop there. Drivers starting to come back on track. It's a very busy pit lane as we're watching here. Wasserschwein onto a fresh set of hard. Debe and Tazo onto a fresh set of mediums. Maddie, Jawmeister, Pujols onto a fresh set of mediums. Extra just now coming around the final corner to go into the pits. This is a blessing for those drivers in the back, such as Etrek, JJ. Well, JJ's DNF, but Extra, like drivers that are very far back, this is a blessing for them because this is going to save them a lot of time. And now, as we've cycled these green flag pit stops and things have ran through, we have the safety car pit stops. We end up right back where we started with Ignis and Cashty, P1, P2. And of course, if you're wondering why I'm so familiar with Spain, it's because we do have our Assetto Corsa Competición team that are training up and getting ready for an 8-hour endurance race here at Barcelona. You'll have some of the big names such as Debe, Graxton, and Jack, but you'll also have some new faces. You'll have two Brads, commentator Brad, and then another Brad that are going to be running as a team. You'll have Bartosz that's running through. Or you'll have Insidious, you'll have Gris, who is our graphics designer here at FRL, who is going to be running through as well. So you'll be able to see us out on track running an 8-hour endurance race. That takes place and we'll be here on FRL. That kicks off on February 18th. So, and that will kick off, stream will start, I believe, around 12 Central European time. More details to come on exact timing and everything later, but you'll be seeing me, the commentator. You'll be able to watch my point of view with me and my teammate Brad. And I know, looking at some of the driver prep, we've all been discussing kind of how we're getting ready. Lap times, everyone's very consistent, and it should be a very, very competitive race looking at the strength of field. 8 hours long, so it's all about consistency and pace, as it always is with the drivers here in FRL with their races. It's always about consistency and pace for these drivers. Taking a second to catch my breath here after what's been an absolutely eventful 18 laps, and also catching up a little bit on the Rolex 24 Hours at Daytona. It looks like there was an LMP, I don't know if it was LMP2 or LMP2 finish at the line after 24 hours of racing. LMP2 was decided by less than a tenth of a second, which was absolutely crazy. So we're still under safety car here. Absolutely insane. Of course, 0.016 seconds separating LMP2s in Daytona. And then if that isn't crazy enough, we're just a few weeks away from Formula One being back. Of course, first launch date is Haas 31st of January. So that is Tuesday. That is 2 days away from us. 31st of January is the first car launch of the F1 2023 season, and then that is when all of the great real-life action starts, and we can start debriefing on real action along with our racing, which is absolutely insane. So excited. You can see the drivers trying to keep heat in the tires. Ignis and Kashi on those fresh hard tires. It says they're 4 and 5 laps old, but of course a few laps under safety car here. They're trying to keep heat in the tires, because otherwise they're going to get swallowed by Graxit, Jawmeister, and Pujols there going through turn 1, turn 2. And of course, everyone says Spain is very difficult. Everyone loves the track, to quote Tazo, and he's not wrong. You can see Tazo back in P11 right now. You can see a lot of people very, very strong through. So drivers are coming around here. Safety car is peeling off, which means Ignis has control of the field. See, Aston Martin safety car is in, so Ignis is going to dictate when the field goes. And Ignis says, go, go, go. And we are now back to green flag racing here. Lap 20 of 33, 13 laps to the end of the race here. You can see Kashi diving around the outside here on Ignis. Kashi's going to be very brave into turn 1 on those cold hard tires. And you can see right there, Graxit trying to stay in the mix as well on the fresh mediums. And Graxit very much in the mix on the fresh mediums up the inside there. And Graxit now sees himself into P2. Kashi falling down the order, trying to be brave on Ignis, and it's not paying off because Kashi now getting swallowed up by Jawmeister. Jawmeister into the wall. Jawmeister retiring out of the session there. And that I would... Oh, and there's another big wreck there. Who was that? Whoa, whoa, what was that? I saw a lot of carbon fiber flying. Who is that coming back on? Is that Matouche? Something big just happened behind all of that, and I don't know who it was or what it was. but somehow no safety car has been deployed, and we're still under green flag running here. That was... Where did that come from? Who was that? So we've got 5 cars out in the matter of a restart. And now you can see Matouche there. We saw him off the track. The car's covered in dirt, but no damage. We'll see if any drivers dive into the pits here. Coming around, I mean, that was... Wow. Extrac is going to be the only driver I see that goes into the pits there after what was an insane move. I'm curious to see if any other drivers saw what happened there. I don't think any other drivers saw that, so we'll get back to the on-track action here of Graxit trying to chase down Ignis now. 0.3 of a second, Cashy down 0.8 of a second on Graxit, and Graxit had some great pace as he's on mediums to finish the race, but that was big, whatever that was. Wow. And here we go, Graxit up the through and around, trying to hold on as we come around turn 12 into the bus stops. And Graxit is going to be very close. Of course, no DRS for 2 laps after safety car. Very unfortunate for John Meister there to DNF that way. Ignis, fastest lap. Cashy, even faster lap, though. So Cashy is going to be gaining a bit of time here. No DRS down the main straight, but they should have DRS starting in sector 2. And now as we go through, you can see Graxit just hanging on to the rear wing there of Ignis by 0.3 of a second. $11 laps to go, including this one. Very, very exciting to watch. Syntax half a second back here on Buchek trying to hold on. And Tazo 0.2 of a second back there. Debe 0.8 of a second. So things settling down, but gaps are still very close. It's anyone's guess as to who finishes where in this race, and we could have another safety car for all we know. Noda, 3-second time penalty, multiple warnings. That's going to be a corner cutting penalty coming the McLaren driver's way. What are the implications this has on the Drivers' Championship, though? Well, if you look here at the Drivers' Championship, Tazo, Noda, Cashy are the top 3. Currently, Cashy is running P3. Noda's not even in the points. Tazo's P7. And Cashy is only 5 points back from gaining the win. So it's going to be a significant run. Graxit, fastest lap of the Grand Prix. So Graxit going to have a great run here down the main straight. He's going to look to the left-hand side here. That's the preferred racing line. He shuts the door on Ignis. And Graxit now is going to run into P1 and try to run away with this race. But he's on mediums. Tire deck is going to be an issue. Buchek there on Syntax. Syntax with Tazo on the inside. Is he going to be able to hold on to it? And it looks like as we come through, Tazo maybe getting the leading edge there and does get the pass done on Syntax. A little bit of a snap of oversteer there from Debe behind Syntax. Extract now with a 119.5, but of course Extract back in P14, not a points paying place. So fastest lap has no points awarded for him. Now as we're watching here, Graxit coming through. Wasserschwein out of the session there in turn 7, and that I believe is going to be a safety car again. Second safety car with 10 laps to go. Whew. What a race that is happening here. The safety car has been deployed. The Aston Martin safety car is out. And Graxit taking a gamble going into the pits here with 9 laps to go. Graxit, Cashy, Maddie all into the pits here. Who else is into the pits? Syntax into the pits, Noda, Matouche into the pits, all of the drivers taking gambles onto soft tires, but the top 6 staying out on mediums and hards. hoping that they're going to be able to make this last to the end of the race. This could get a little bit chaotic. Whew. All right. So let's regroup here. Take a second to breathe, especially for me, because I feel like I have been going non-stop with action since we came on the track. Whew. So, out of nowhere, Tazo now finds himself up in the P3, which is very, very impressive to see. Whew. Okay. Now, let's regroup here and let's look at the current situation. If you're Ignis, you need to defend as hard as you've ever defended in your life on this restart against Buchik, against Tazo, Debe, Puhash, and Barthez, who are going to get some life back in their tires. Buchik needs to really, really push and try to get Ignis early on and let Ignis play a roadblock and try to build a gap. Graxit, Kashti, Maddie, Syntex, Noda, Matush, Extract are all on fresh tires. This is about to be a really chaotic restart and a really chaotic sprint to the finish. We're probably going to have like a 6-lap sprint. So I hope everyone's buckled in and just ready to see some carnage. So, safety car is in this lap, so we're going to have a 7-lap shootout to the finish here in split 1. And it is hard for me to tell you what to expect here towards the end. This should be absolutely insane. You can see Ignis fighting to keep heat into those tires. And I'll tell you right now, Graxit is going to be hounding at the back end of Barthez off this restart. He is going to have a turn 1 lunge, and they are going to go for it. Ignis has control of the field. Aston Martin safety car is pulled off, and we are going to be back underway here for 7 laps of action here in Barcelona. And you can see drivers a little bit bundled up already, and you can see Buchik already defending hard on Tazo. Tazo's already trying to have a move up the inside here, outside, I'm sorry, as we go through. Tazo does have the move there on Buchik through and outside turns into inside. Tazo has the pass done. Tazo very timid off of turn 2 though, and allows a gap to open up on Ignis very, very quick. And this might allow for a little bit of a move. Look at Graxit in the back already diving around there on Barthez and getting through. Graxit now up into P6 in his pursuit for the lead. Look at that, 3 wide coming through in front of him there. Graxit, Puhash, Debe coming through 3 wide. Who's going to have the pass there? Puhash is trying to force Graxit down the inside. Catchy's now up past Barthez. So these fresh tire runners are going to have major pace advantage as we watch through here. And now in the back, we've got Syntex going 3 wide here. He's got Barthez on the outside, Matush on the inside. And who comes out ahead? Well, that is going to be Matush ahead of Syntex there. on the inside. Now you've got Graxit putting a lot of pressure on Pujosh here. Going towards the end, Graxit is going to be looking very, very racy. Of course, no DRS for 2 laps after safety car, so same situation as we had last time. This is all about pure pace and the tire advantage. These soft tires are going to die quick, so Graxit has to make a move. We've got a yellow flag there, as that is going to be Noda, who has spun out. Noda falling to the back of the points-paying places here. And now as we watch here, behind, side by side coming down, is going to be Maddie and Matoush. And who is that on the inside for turn 2? It is Maddie. Maddie compromised line, though, and that is going to be Matoush through. Syntex following through on the inside, so Maddie losing a couple of places there. Graxit trying to chase down here Pujosh, and they're side by side coming in through turn 4. Who is going to have the advantage? It is going to be Graxit with the advantage, and now Cashy is going to look to repeat that. And who is going to get the pass done there? Cashy has the pass done on Pujosh. So now it's Graxit and Cashy, P5, P6, trying to chase down the leaders. Leaders already building up a little bit of gap. Look at that, Graxit's just going to dive down the inside of Debe there on turn 9. Very unconventional place to pass. And does Graxit have the job done? Graxit has the job done and has the job done well, but look at the run Cashy has. Cashy with DRS up the inside here, and is he going to have the pass done? Cashy is trying to have the pass done through. Inside turns into outside, and Graxit shuts the door. And now we've got Pujosh, who's DNFing there in the middle sector. And one more safety car to bring us to the end of this race. Wow. And are the top 3 going to think about pitting now? They were past the start. They were past the pit lane entry when the safety car was called. So that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have like a 1-lap, 2-lap shootout to the end here. Safety car has been deployed. The field's being told to pass the safety cars. They were past the start-finish line. So the field has to get around, catch the safety car, and then the field has to bunch back up. But Graxit, what a run up into P4. And Cashy following right along. I'll tell you what, Split 1 is providing some action here. Don't go anywhere, as this is the exciting conclusion here to this race here in FRL round 4. What a run that has been had here. Oh my goodness. What a run. So now drivers should catch up the safety car here. Pujosh now out of the session. So we've got 12 drivers out of the 19 that started that will be finishing this race. And this will probably be just a dash to the end. I don't think any drivers will get DRS to the end. I don't even know how long the safety car is going to stay out, really. I would imagine safety car will come in at the end of next lap. If not the end of this lap, if the drivers are bunched up enough. And as we're into sector 3, the call is not made for safety car in this lap. The field's not bunched up enough, so we're going to have one more lap under safety car at least. Never mind, there's the call very late from race control, safety car in this lap. So we'll have a 3-lap shootout from the line. Ignis on 14-lap-old hard tires, with Buchik and P3 on 14-lap-old hard tires, trying to defend against Cracksit and Cashty. And now we're going to be back underway here. Ignis brings the field back to green flag, running 3 laps to go here at the line. And now Tazo trying to have a run down the inside. You can see even Buchik trying to have a late look there. Tazo's going to go around the outside, which turns in the inside here, which will be the outside for turn 3 here. Who is going to have the advantage? Tazo and Ignis side by side. We've seen this run once before. Who is going to come out on advantage? Ignis gets a little snap of oversteer. Tazo has to go defensive. Stays on the outside here. Is he going to stay close enough? He's not. Ignis slots in. Tazo P2 now, but watch out for Cracksit here at P4. Dive up the outside. And Cashty very brave on the inside, trying to hang Cracksit out to dry. A little bit of contact there side by side as they go through here into turn 7 and 8. And that is Cracksit into the grass. Cashty throughout as well. Both of the contenders on fresh tires out. And back into the back of the field here. So both of them chasing, trying to go side by side through turn 7 and 8, which you can't do. Turn 9 proved detrimental for them. And they both fall to the back of the field here. You can see frustrations being shown from Cashty. And there is the Williams of Debe, who has lost it as well. Jump back up to the front of the field here as we still have 2 laps of racing at the line. Ignis in the lead here. Tazo P2, Buchik P3, Matoush P4. Matoush is now our closest fresh tire runner. And let's top off those fresh soft tires with a fastest lap of the Grand Prix. As we see Noda now up into P6, Extract there, trying to stay very close. Noda around Syntax here. Syntax on the inside. Syntax gets loose and Syntax spins. And now Extract runs into the gravel there on the outside of turn 2. What is this race? Drivers are trying to push for the end and not able to hold on to it here. Matoush P4, his teammate lets him by there for P3, so Matoush now on the podium, and Buchik on 16-lap-old hards. Settling down for P4. Are they going to try to have a chase here on Tazo and Ignis with 2 laps to go? They have to, because Matoush has such a pace delta. Ignis now picking up a time penalty. Unfortunately, Cracksit and Cashty, the 2 front runners that were looking like they were going to win, falling all the way back. Matoush here putting in a purple sector 2, so Matoush is on the hunt for the win. Spain always gives us such good races. And this is amazing to watch. Look at Matoush, 0.3 of a second the gap coming out of the final corner. DRS enabled this lap. They won't have it down this main straight. They'll have it starting in sector 2 of this lap. So they'll have 1 run of DRS down the main line. Matoush possibly in place for a podium here as Ignis does have a penalty. Ignis has a 3-second penalty to serve. So Matoush possibly in place for a win. So we're going to watch here, final laps coming in. Matoush is going to look around the outside of Tazo here. And is Matoush going to be able to get the pass done on Tazo here and leave himself enough time to chase down Ignis? I don't know as we watch here. And here comes Matoush, 1/10 of a second the gap on Tazo. Does he have the pace to get past here? He's going to dive around on the inside. DRS open here down this back straight. Tazo's going mega defensive. Matoush slings it around to the outside here around turn 10. Wow. And now Matoush does have that pass done. He's got a second to make up in a little over a lap. Is he going to be close enough to get this pass done? I think he is going to be close enough here. As Matoush looks around, a second is the gap. Does he have enough for DRS here? Can he make up a second in a lap against 17-lap-old hard tires? 9/10 of a second. He did not have DRS on this occasion. Ignis is harvesting, trying everything to get this pass done here. It's going to be a drag race for the next 2.9 miles. Buckle in to your seats as Cashty puts in a fast lap of the Grand Prix. Cashty moving himself up into P7 there. Noda, P6, Matty P5. Noda is going to try and move here, but all of the focus, half a second already gained by Matoush here in just a lap. And now we've got yellow flag sector 1. That is going to be for Extra X spinning there in the first corner. Noda, great battle here in the midfield for P4. Going through P5, Maddie and Noda battling it out here. Is Matoush going to be close enough for a pass? Noda is past Maddie now for P5, and there goes Noda off the track there. Maddie is going to be back in place. Is Matoush close enough for a pass here? A tenth of a second is the gap as they round down the second DRS zone. Matoush is going to look very wide here. He's on the outside coming through turn 10. He's going to be able to hold on. Ignis is pushing him as wide as he can. Matoush trying to stay on the inside there. He's going to slot back in for turn 12 here around the right-hand side. Is he going to be close enough to try to have a run to the line as they come through the bus stop? Did Ignis keep enough in the tank? Matoush with a slight error. Now falling back. Matoush fighting tooth and nail. But in the end, Ignis is going to prevail here. And Ignis will come across the line to win round 4 here in FRL. After penalties, though, it doesn't matter because Ignis will drop back to P3. Matoush will take the win here in Barcelona, Spain for round 4 and split 1. Tazo P2, Ignis P3, Buchik P4, Maddie, Kashti, Barthez, Noda eventually dropping back to P8, Syntax P9, Debe P10, Graxit's going to pick up a DNF, and Extra will finish P11. What a thrilling conclusion to the weekend here in FRL. Buchik picking up driver of the day, and I cannot believe what just happened. And after all of that, 33 laps and 50 minutes of action here. We've got Matoush, Tazo, and Ignis, our podiums. Ignis in P3. Ignis is saying that there was a glitch that gave him a 3 seconds. We'll see what's said there. Buchik, Maddie, Kashti, Barthez, Noda, Syntax, Debe rounding out the last of the points-paying places. Extra, Graxit. Graxit back, not finishing. Graxit, Puhash, Wasserswein, John Meister, Bimolino, Maverick, JJ, Bernard. What a race that was. That is how you want to round out a round 4. Wow. Congratulations to our drivers on the podium, Matoush, Tazo, Ignis. Tazo, this should have big implications for your points in securing a position here against Noda and Kashti and securing yourself up into the lead of the points. Amazing stuff. 5 pit stops from Matoush and still coming out on top. This is why I love FRL. This is why this league is amazing. Again, if you want to join the league, check out our Discord, jump in, pick a number, sign up to be a reserve driver. Everyone, my name's Brad. I'm the voice of FRL. I'll see y'all at Imola next week. That was wow. I'll see y'all next week. And it looks like Noda is going to be your winner of this Portuguese Grand Prix. Is your champion. JJ splits the middle, gets past both drivers.